Good evening, I'm Alan Devlin.
And I'm Dick Brennan. We begin tonight with new developments in the capture of Nicolas Maduro and the transition of power in Venezuela.
Here's what we know at this hour. Maduro and his wife are set to be arraigned at noon tomorrow. Tonight, President Trump reiterated his message that the U.S. is in charge of Venezuela, and that country's interim leader says she wants to collaborate with Trump.
We've also learned Cuba claims 32 of its officers were killed in the U.S. strikes on Venezuela. Tomorrow, Trump officials will brief high-ranking members of Congress on the operation.
And tonight, we have team coverage for you. Let's begin with Lisa Rozner outside the detention center in Brooklyn, where Maduro and his wife are being held. Good evening, Lisa.
Alan and Dick, this detention center is about 5 miles from the courthouse in Lower Manhattan. If the couple is driven to their arraignment Monday, it is likely to impact traffic. But as we await word on logistics, world leaders spent Sunday weighing in on what should happen in Venezuela next. New pictures show Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro stepping off a plane at Stewart Air National Guard Base in Orange County Saturday night, escorted by the DEA. Another shows Maduro's wife, Celia Flores, in custody. They are being held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, where outside, this man, originally from Venezuela, says he drove up with his family from D.C.
I just feel like we've been struggling so much for a very long time, for over 26 years, and we as Venezuelans, we finally can see a light at the end of the tunnel.
Maduro and his wife face various drug and weapons charges, including narco-terrorism. Maduro had been wanted in the U.S. with a $50 million reward since 2020. The unsealed indictment from the Southern District of New York adds to allegations from his previous case, alleging Maduro worked to traffic drugs with the Colombian guerrilla group.
We have a country, potentially a very rich country, that has cozied itself up under the control of this regime, has cozied up to Iran, has cozied up to Hezbollah, has allowed narco-trafficking gangs to operate with impunity from their own territory.
In a televised statement, Venezuela's defense minister said a large part of Maduro's security team was killed in the raid, with the country's vice president, Delcy Rodriguez, sworn in as the interim leader.
We're going to judge everything by what they do.
The Atlantic reporting that President Trump said in a phone interview of Rodriguez Sunday, quote, "If she doesn't do what's right, she is going to pay a very big price, probably bigger than Maduro." Sources tell CBS News Trump administration officials will give some members of Congress a classified briefing on Venezuela Monday evening. Several top Democrats, including Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, criticized the administration for its handling of the situation.
It's a violation of the law to do what they did without getting the authorization of Congress.
Again, Maduro and his wife are set to be arraigned in federal court in Lower Manhattan Monday. Also Monday, the UN Security Council is scheduled to meet regarding Venezuela. In Sunset Park, Brooklyn, Lisa Rozner, CBS News, New York.
In Venezuela, people who live in towns just outside of Caracas returned home today. Some houses were reduced to rubble after yesterday's strikes. New satellite images shows a military base before and after. It was one of several sites targeted in the operation. And Colombia's military has stationed troops at its main border crossing with Venezuela. Despite the heightened security, it appeared business as usual for those traveling back and forth. There continues to be many questions about who will be in charge in Venezuela. Tonight, President Trump once again insisted it was the U.S. in a somewhat cryptic answer he gave to a reporter's question.
Don't ask me who's in charge, because I'll give you an answer and it'll be very controversial.
What does that mean?
We're in charge.
On Air Force One Sunday night, President Trump insisting the U.S. will run Venezuela. But earlier, Secretary of State Marco Rubio seemed to clarify the U.S. role, suggesting the administration was more interested in driving the policy of the government now being run by Nicolas Maduro's allies.
A lot of people are wondering what happens next in Venezuela.
I asked military expert Mike Lyons just how far he thinks the U.S. might go in Venezuela.
I don't see a world where troops are going into Venezuela other than perhaps security forces protecting civilians and individuals that are going to work within the petroleum industry. So you'll see security forces doing that. I'm not sure it's the U.S. military, but it'll be somebody protecting those people.
And Lyons says, in fact, the U.S. aims to ensure its adversaries don't get their hands on Venezuelan oil.
China, Russia, Iran were operating inside Venezuela. They were taking oil from Venezuela. So there's no question that the implied task was clearly having control over the country and the 330 billion barrels of reserve oil.
And then there are domestic concerns for the president, like those in the MAGA movement, who do not support foreign intervention.
We don't consider Venezuela our neighborhood. Our neighborhood is right here in the 50 United States, not in the Southern Hemisphere.
But military experts believe Trump may not be finished with U.S. actions abroad.
Do I think he will do this in other countries? Yes, I think he'll put pressure on Cuba. He'll put pressure on these countries to restore democracy. And you can look at Cuba as perhaps one of the greatest foreign policy failures of our country in a post-World War II era.
Secretary Rubio says the U.S. will continue to stop oil tankers from entering and leaving Venezuela until it opens up the state-controlled oil industry.
Now, both celebrations and protests have erupted around the world. From Spain to Mexico and across the U.S., rallies were held in Kansas City, Missouri, Sacramento, and right here in New York City. Jenna DeAngelis has reaction from the Venezuelan community.
In times of uncertainty, many turn to faith. For the Araujo family, faith is their foundation, attending Sunday Mass at St. Patrick's Cathedral, praying for their home country, Venezuela.
They're going back to hopefully what's starting to be a new Venezuela. It just gives hope.
Juan Araujo's parents returned to Venezuela this week, but were visiting their son in New York City when they learned the U.S. captured President Nicolas Maduro.
We are really happy because, I mean, we've been suffering a lot for the last 20 years.
There's a long way still to go, but this is a huge first step.
Hands off Venezuela!
Outside the Metropolitan Detention Center, where Maduro and his wife are being held, demonstrators rallied against U.S. intervention.
So we have to oppose this action because what's stopping Trump from doing this to other countries?
How can somebody be celebrating a crime, the kidnapping of a president?
Many Venezuelans, like Zulimar Mendoza, say they're celebrating a chance for change.
It's a light at the end of the tunnel. So for us, this means hope.
Mendoza works double to send her parents money in Venezuela. She left in 2018 with vivid, heartbreaking memories of the struggle.
I saw families, entire families, eating from the garbage. It's a sacrifice, yes, but it's necessary in this case because we are stuck. We don't have solutions.
What do you think it's going to be like going back?
Well, the same guys are still in power, so I don't know what's going to happen. I think we're going to have to wait and see and what Trump and the government is going to do. I don't know what's going to happen, I mean, but something have to give.
Jenna DeAngelis, CBS News, New York.
Now in South Florida, large celebrations erupted this weekend, marking the end of Maduro's rule. In Doral, roughly half the population is Venezuelan descent. People chanted liberty and waved Venezuelan flags in the streets and said they felt hopeful.
It's just a feeling. I can't explain it. We make our life here because we had to, not because we wanted to. So we really want to go back.
Roughly 8 million Venezuelans fled the country in the last decade, the largest exodus in Latin America's modern history.
U.S. airlines are back flying in and out of the Caribbean again. The strikes on Venezuela prompted the FAA to close the airspace yesterday. Hundreds of flights were canceled, leaving many Americans scrambling to find new flights home. That includes the Crane family, who was supposed to fly from Puerto Rico to New York.
Teacher, I'm supposed to go back to work tomorrow.
We've continued to search frantically to try to get something. We found a flight for our eldest daughter, who's 18. We found a flight for her Tuesday, so she can go home a day earlier.
Airlines, including American, United, Delta, and JetBlue, have added extra flights to accommodate those passengers. And be sure to stay with CBS News New York for continuing coverage of Maduro's capture. This is beginning tomorrow morning at 4:30 a.m. We will also bring you a special report at noon for his arraignment right here in Manhattan. Then tune in tomorrow night for the official debut of the CBS Evening News with Tony DeCopel. That's at 6:30 p.m.